Let's talk.
Giles Brown.
Judge Marzia Babakarkhail weaves together deeply personal stories that resonate with international audiences. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined live on the line by Marzia Babakarkhail herself. Marzia, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining me. Explain a little bit about your background, because obviously it is an intriguing and an interesting background. So explain to the listeners who may not have heard your story before.
Thank you. Well, I born in a well-educated family in Afghanistan. My mom was a teacher, a principal. My dad was a self-employment, and so all my sister and my brothers are very well educated, and my dad passionate about education, so I'm not a young lady, and also my time, not just my family, there are a lot of Afghan families in Puli Khumri. They are very well educated, and so I was at the beginning of my life, so I was not very consider life as very serious.
Yeah.
But I'm inspired by Judge Nafisa. She was the first female judge in Afghanistan, in Puli Khumri, the city I was born, and so I don't know, suddenly I decided to become a judge. Maybe I was in the year 9 of my school. And after that, I changed my life. When I became a judge, I make it easy for people, not make it too long. When I became a judge, I was thinking, okay, the goal is achieved, everything is okay. But the problem is start that time when I became a judge, because in our family we had a very open culture, and there was a respect in our family for women. But when I became a judge, I saw the women, they was waiting outside of the court for more than 4 or 5 hours, but the man was very welcoming, and in my time, so it kind of injustice was around me, like I was questioning always myself why it's happening, why there is if the women, they're doing very small things, like in the legal system, they received like kind of not any support from the court. So there was always a gap between male and female, and they was the client they came to the court. So I decided to help these women, because as a judge I was tied by the law. I'm not allowed to help them, and I established charity, and including a shelter for divorced women in 1994, and that's what became bigger and bigger. So the Taliban came and they tried to kill me, because my aim was not popular with the Taliban, and I really feel a bit sorry about all the difficulties my family, especially my mother, survived because of me in my city during when the Taliban came. So that is, the way of beginning of my life, with some good and some tragic event in my life.
I mean, the changes that Afghanistan has undergone, from from the 70s to the invasion from the Soviet Union to the period in the 90s, and then it's a story, if you like, that goes. It's a story that winds, isn't it? And so you go from having almost equal rights to then the Taliban, and then back again to equal rights. I mean, it is a story that is heartbreaking in many ways, because you see the flowering of rights and women's rights and cultures, and then it is repressed again, and then it flowers, which must be, to say frustrating is too easy a word, but from your point, Marzia, I mean, it must be heartbreaking, frustrating, and to have these women's rights given to you and then taken away.
Absolutely. If I'm talking about current situation in Afghanistan, the Taliban, if you see, I'm really disappointed the way that some of the Europe countries, they invited the Taliban recently. And so I think as Afghanistan became a project for everyone. We achieved everything. No one can achieve by helping others. People in Afghanistan, they put a lot of hard work they achieve the goal, and the situation was very good in Afghanistan. Like we had more educated people than ever, and during the previous regime in Afghanistan. I'm not talking about the government. I'm not fond of the government, but the people, the hard work, the people, the women activists and other women, Afghani women around the world, and our brothers also, they was working together in Afghanistan. But now, if you see why the European countries, because they want to remove some Afghanis if they are not lived legally. I don't think they made kind of decision to invite the Taliban. The Taliban, they break everything, all the rules. They put women in the prison. There are no education, there are no legal system, there is no safety for women. Not just for women, to be honest, for men as well. Like our Tajik and our Azara, Uzbek, and a lot of Pashtun people as well. When they work with the previous government, they disturbed by this government. They can everything they want to do without rules, without law. It is a big frustration for Afghanis around the world.
So the problem is, and this must be the frustration, is that people kind of normalize Taliban, and they're like, oh yeah, well, it's Afghanistan, so we have to deal with the Taliban. So we have this invitation from the European Union to have these Taliban figures for one day to attend this conference, which has shocked many people. But the Afghani culture isn't Taliban. It's not. It's a rich culture. It's a mixed culture. It's a culture that is has seen women's rights and now to be repressed. And if you take education from away from women, you condemn human rights. You condemn medical issues. Etc. So this must be something that we should stand against, Marzia.
Last night, I had a chat with one very young lady. She is the director of the group of the women. They stand against the Taliban. She just left Afghanistan, and she a high-profile protester from Afghanistan. And she told me, well, we should all stand together and against this decision made by European Union to invite the Taliban. If it's one day, if it's 10 minutes, that's all it is. Give them a space or platform. It is very hard for women in Afghanistan to accept that. And I'm not sure what will be the background, what kind of diplomacy will be the background of this decision. But however it is really not the kind of respecting the human rights and freedom in Afghanistan. They ignored everything.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned earlier just casually, oh yeah, well, we did this, and then the Taliban tried to kill me. I mean, the way that you said that sort of casually, how did you, was it a warning? Did you have people turn up at your doors? Was your family threatened? Explain sort of, and obviously you're not in Afghanistan now. So what was if you like, the final push that made you have to leave your country?
The Taliban, they tried to kill me, and in Afghanistan and in Pakistan, because I moved to Pakistan when the Taliban, their government. So when I came to Pakistan, I have kind of passion for my country. You know, your country is your mother, and you're rude. You know, how can you ignore your country? When I came in Pakistan, something was happened, and I established the help of my other colleagues, a school for Afghan refugee in Pakistan, in Peshawar, Pakistan, Hayatabad. So I was in the media. Suddenly, I became very involved with media, to asking help for my school and for Afghan refugees. That time, again, you know, I made kind of enemy around me. Like, some of my neighbors were not happy with my school, and some people was criticizing me, why this is school for boys and girls, why boys is coming in the morning. So there's 1,000 of questions. The best way I should describe, when you want to destroy a women activist, you can make a story against them, you know. So some women, they can think they will ending of everything. For me, if you stand against me, you make me more strong. Mm-hmm. So we all Afghani women is like this, you know. The women, the group of the women, they are the young women in Afghanistan. When I contact them, and they inspire me every day. But the second time, when the Taliban, they hit me by car, and in Pakistan, I was really nearly dying. So I decided I was in the hospital. For my mother was very difficult. Yeah. But after, when I recovered, I back to my work, you know, like for my charity in Kabul. When I came back, my mother told, you cannot stay because we receive calls from the Taliban. And when I was in hospital, I received a call from them. You know, how was the gift? That is the reality and the humanity of the Taliban.
How was the gift? They said, how was the gift?
How was the gift, yeah. And that is sometimes... that makes me like, you know, my brain is sometimes in fire when I remind that, you know, I'm a human being. Sometimes it's coming in my mind, you know, and that's the reason I understand how tough is this life for women in Afghanistan. If you know what the same shoes, you cannot understand people. I walk the same shoes. I run, I escape. My family was disturbed, my mother was disturbed, my sisters, my brothers, and I feel so sorry for them. And I'm really apologize for everything they have been through because of my work. And that is not Marzia's story. That's all the Afghani women's story.
Yeah. So the book, why is to get the message across? Take a breath. Is it to get the message across? to inspiration, to show people that there's a community there. There are women who want to change, and that we shouldn't just think, oh, Afghanistan is always going to be like that. It's always going to be these crazy Taliban people, there must be something in the water in Afghanistan there, because there's, I do a show and people call in, and then whenever we talk about Afghanistan, there are people who said, "Oh, I was in Afghanistan in the '60s and it was beautiful times," and the kites and the fashions and so it is. You see, you're smiling now. You see, it is a it is a beautiful country. It is an independent, it's a proud country in a good way. But it's an intelligent country. It's had education. You couldn't survive without education. So how are you hoping that your book will inspire and perhaps help those in Afghanistan?
As we all know, Afghanistan is just not anymore on media, on news. The very serious thing about recently there's some very difficult law that Taliban announced because for marriage age and everything. There no one stand against this law. Like I'm saying about human rights and other organization or TVs and other newspaper. They are responsible to say something about this, to spread the word, that people should understand. The United Nations, the Human Rights Organization. So 11 years ago, I was thinking to write a book about my story, how I became a judge and why I became a judge and why I became a judge and why I became an activist when I was a judge. Some people trust me, they like the status. Being a judge is a good status and everywhere. But when I was a judge, I became an activist. Maybe some people ask themselves why she was a judge. Very calm, cool, beautiful life. Suddenly, I became an activist. I'm not inspired by very high-profile women. I'm inspired by my client, by the women. They had no profile, but they were women, a mother, a sister. This book is not really about me. I hope I encourage you also to order a copy of my book. This book is about a lot of achievement, about how the women, they deal with the life, how which women is more involved and which group is more involved in Afghanistan now as well. So also, this book giving the real story of the current situation of my colleagues, the Afghan women judges, and also the other legal professionals they left behind in Afghanistan with empty hand, with no safety. This book, every chapter that give the right and the correct information, because I want to make clear, Afghanistan for me not a project. Afghanistan not for me is a kind of making for myself. Afghanistan for me is my mother, is my country, is my proud and my love. That is the difference between other people and Afghani people. I did this book to people read about our women. We have, very strong women in the country, in the whole world. We have very well educated women around the world. We are always divided by other policies, but end of the day, we all Afghan women, we all Afghanis, we stand together for each other. I'm sure nothing lasts forever, is a good English saying. I'm not worried a lot about the Taliban because a very good saying in English, they say, Alapad cannot change, so Alapad never change. They never will be changed. But day by day, the women in Afghanistan, they became very strong. They became very committed for the country. And I always welcome other countries and women organization or other human rights organization support for women in Afghanistan and for women in the world. My book is The Voice for the Voiceless. My book to show the world the power of women in Afghanistan. This book about how, as a judge, I faced with criticized from the society, from my colleague, from people. This book is about when I came in this country, I cannot speak a word of English. This book is about Afghani people. We are responsible. We know our life, our responsibility.
The book is called Marzia, A Judge's Fight for Afghan Women's Rights. It's by Marzia Babakarkhail, who we're speaking to today. Marzia, if people want to find you online, is there a website? Where can people find you and help support you?
If people want to support me, I have a Twitter. I think the best, easiest way. I'm on Twitter. We have a website at judgemarzia.com. We have a website, and also I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, and everywhere in social media. I'm on TikTok and Instagram. And if people want to, to order the book, I would appreciate.
They can do it. They can do it. We have our own virtual bookstore, so they can order it directly from the website, our website, and it goes directly to our listeners in Spain and around the world. JudgeMarzia.com is the social media. The book is called Marzia. Marzia, it's been an absolute honor to speak to you this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Have a nice day. Bye.